So yeah, let's talk about this book now, shall we? Uh, White Knight, issue 4. Uh, I'm not calling it Batman because Batman's in it for like 4 pages, but it's still good. It's still a really good story. Basically, this issue is a love story and a story of what happens when you're left with no other option. You know what I mean? This is a pretty good little book here. The cover's pretty cool. Now, once we get in here, see if I can find the title page. Sean Gordon Murphy did the script, art, and covers, and then Matt Hollingsworth did the colors and the cover colors. He's got a very strange picture on his Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say. So basically, what's going on is, if you haven't been reading this book already, basically what's happening is Joker is now a good guy, so to speak, and he's trying to take command of the city. Basically, he's trying to take over the city using politics instead of violence. So he's running for councilman. He's got all the urban neighborhoods under his wing now. Duke, I think it's Duke Thomas, which is the Signal on the new Batman series. There he is. He's not the usual Duke Thomas. He's a big old dude. He is helping them. He's got the Backport City, part of the city behind Jack Napier, which is Joker. And Joker's giving his speech, and then they're going to go on a march. What I found out about this book is it's got a lot to do with current politics. It does things that has to do with current politics without being current politics. You know what I mean? And I give him a hard time, but he does this in a pretty good light because he doesn't really pick sides. You think he's picking sides because he's a liberal, but he doesn't. He puts it right down the middle pretty evenly, and you got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But here, they're going to go on a march, and the police are going to stop them because they don't have a permit. I mean, they're marching, they're creating a nuisance, and they don't have a permit, so James Gordon's going to stop them. Well, before they have a chance to stop them, it starts getting heated. Nothing really too much, just kind of getting heating, and then Batman and the crew just show up and start, taking people out. And Batgirl's trying to get him to stop, but he's using pretty much everything he can to arrest the Joker, just because he's Batman and he's on the edge pretty much. And Joker uses it as a chance to his advantage. He calms everybody down, doesn't let a riot get started, then lets himself be taken to jail. Now, at the same time, we've got this newsroom here kind of talking about what has happened, and here's what they've done. You've got the old white guy, you got the young black woman having this conversation, and basically you've got, this is the conservative, this is the Democrat, and he's talking about how Joker's a bad guy, just needs to be arrested, and she said that he's fighting for the people of Blackport, and he says that he's just white knighting for the minorities. And they said, well, Duke Thomas is actually the one that's for us. He just recruited Jack Napier because he's a white guy and knows it'll work. So it's very right down the middle. It doesn't really pick a side. It just kind of shows you how people would act in that situation. So that was pretty good. So then we get to the part to where Jack is at the police station talking to Gordon and the rest of his deputies. And he's basically saying, hey, this was all pretty much part of his plan, because while he's there, he's got a plan that he wants to tell them about. He's wanting to start a Gotham Terror Oppression Unit, the GTO. He's already got the file ready. So this has all been part of his plan. He wants to combine vigilantes with policemen in a special tactical unit. And that way, he can pretty much take Batman off the board. So Batman will either have to do it or he'll have to leave. So here's where it gets kind of interesting, because he's pretty much free to go, and then Harley stops him and starts telling him about how much she cares for him, how much he's a good guy now, and how much he has changed, because to begin with, it was a vendetta against Gotham and Batman, but now he's actually turned into a real hero. So she loves him, and she says, take me out, And this is pretty funny right here. She says, hey, take me out tonight. And he says, well, there's so much to do. And he said, take her out, you clown, or somebody else will. And I was like, oh, yeah, you got to remember that. I mean, that's an important thing in a relationship. If you don't show attention to the one you're in a relationship with, somebody else will. So you've only got yourself to blame when stuff like that happens. So they go out, they have a night on the town, things get kind of intense, and then they have their first little Joker sex scene, which I thought was pretty funny. But then pretty much solidifies their relationship. And then Neo Joker shows up. Neo Joker is by far my favorite character in this book. I just love the makeup. Isn't that cool? And then she's got cool knives in this little satchel on her back. But she just unleashes the mind-controlled villains that Jack Napier had been using. She overrid the system using the original Hatter. And so now they all belong to us. All your base belong to us. She attacks the police station. And then while she's attacking the police station, Batman and the crew are trying to stop them. But they're able to steal data on the criminals and on different people that the police station is holding. And then this is where we get a situation because Batman saves Gordon, but they start an argument because Gordon has pretty much had enough with Batman and all this trouble that's causing, because he's really stood up for Batman, but Batman is going off the deep end and it's causing a lot of problems. And so he pretty much gives him an ultimatum, and Gordon and Batman break up because they pretty much, he says, you're going to have to be part of the GTO or nothing at all, and then just leaves. And he's like, no, don't go, baby, don't go. So then we have the scene here where Jack Napier is talking to Harley Quinn, and they're talking about what just happened, and he can't get his Hatter device to work. He can't control him. So Harley is already suited up in her old outfit, and she's ready to go. She's like, we're going to take him down. And then that's when Neo Joker shows up and pretty much tells him, hey, give me your drugs. You're going back to Joker. I want the Joker back now. And he says, you know, the Joker doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. We have a sad moment here. And then that's pretty much where that ends. Now, at the same time, we've got Jack has set up a meeting with Gordon, because Gordon, you know, is pretty much going to start working with him now to talk to Batgirl and Nightwing. And look at their outfits. They got some pretty cool outfits. I love the detail. Sean Gordon Murphy is really good at drawing detail in clothing. He's very good at sketches. And I mean, he does a lot of the line work himself, and then pretty much all you have to do is ink it. I mean, you don't have to do anything extra. And then they show them what they have planned. They have planned pretty much their own Batcave. And what really made me laugh was he said, hey, we got, you know, we're going to do our own state-of-the-art Batmobiles. And I was like, that's a Chevy Nova. And that's a Datsun. And then you got a GTR and a couple of, those are not Batmobiles. Those are just souped up cars. You're pretty much going to make Mad Max all over again. And so they haven't really said yes, but you know they are. They're going to end up working with him. And it's not going to be what they thought it was. And then we get the origin story of this Harley Quinn, which is Marion Andrews. And which is I can't remember what you call that, but it's Mary Andrews. It's a stand-in for that name. It's like a play on words. And so you find out the story behind where she came from. I won't spoil it for you, but then you get the fact that they have now broken into the computer, the hard drives that they stole, and now they're getting the information. And the information that they get is, and this is what I was confused by, some people took this the wrong way. Pretty much they figure out that they had this secret thing set up with Victor Fries, these secret labs, these underground tunnels, things like that. And his family was actually Nazis back in the day. And then through that, he got some kind of pardon in his family's name. And so something's been going on. He's been working. Now, I don't know if this is the deal that Batman found out about to help him try to save Alfred that had that disease. I don't know if he used this to do that, but, you know, we'll find out. But some people was like, oh no, Thomas and Martha Wayne, which is in the picture with Victor Fries here, are Nazis. And that's where the mistake comes from. They're not Nazis. Victor Fries's granddad was a Nazi. So he's not even really a Nazi. He was a Nazi. And then they're just making an agreement with him, some kind of secret agreement that we don't know about. But we do see Martha and Thomas there. Martha! So that's a pretty good little cliffhanger there. You know, what's going to happen? I don't know. Now, at the same time, we got this advertisement here, Swamp Thing Winter Special. Definitely going to check that out. Tom King and Lin Wynn. Awesome. And we got Jason Fabok. This guy right here is really, really nice. You need to check him out. He did an interview with EVS, and I started following him and buying his stuff just because of the interview. Like, he's really, really good, but he's also a really good guy. But what'd you guys think about this? I think this is a pretty good story so far. There's not really that much action, but it's so compelling that it keeps your attention. It's weird saying this because I like big fights. I want big fights, that's what I like. But they do just enough to keep your attention here and there. There's a lot of suspense. There's a lot of build. There's a lot of things going on. So it kind of keeps your attention. But what do you think about this so far? What's your favorite part about this book? My favorite part is going to be Neo Joker by far. I mean, she's got one of the coolest outfits. Look at that. It's awesome. Look at the detail in her knives. Look at the little hand grooves. I mean, Sean really took a lot into that. Look, this is this far away, and then look at the detail in Bane's mask. The guy thinks a lot of his art. He tries. You got Batgirl there. He even put detail in her suit. It's pretty cool. Gordon looks cool too. I like the way he draws him. But what do you guys think? You like this book so far? You know, I didn't really like it at first. I liked the first issue, and the second issue was like, bleh. I gave it a pretty bad review. But we're halfway through now. This is 4 of 8. And it was originally 6, but it got so many orders that they pushed it to 8. And it's $3.99, which is a little but it's worth it though. It's not like Marvel that does every one of theirs $3 or $4.99. This is actually kind of worth it. So definitely check this out. I can't say enough about it. And you know, Batman wasn't even in it that much, but it was still pretty good. Now, towards the end, like at this point on, I would like Batman to at least be in half of the book. Like, you know, I know this is kind of like Batman Detective Comics or Superman Action Comics or something like that, but they're putting that, somebody said this last night in the live stream, they're putting his name in there to sell the book. If you put White Knight, nobody's going to know what it talks about. If you put Batman White Knight, then it's definitely going to sell. So I do see what they're saying there. I just wish he was a little bit, I wish he was more in it, you know, and that's, maybe they're going to kick it off in, you know, 5 through 8. Maybe we're going to see a lot more of him. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm definitely excited because I like Sean Gordon Murphy's art. I just bought The Wake, which is another issue that he did. It's basically Waterworld, and it's got a lot of good detail. So definitely check it out. What do you guys think, though? Hit the like, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. And I hope this was a good video for you. I'm going to be making some more, but I don't know, give me some suggestions. What should I talk about? All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Underground Geek out.